Ready Check Radio.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo. What's up, Internet? It's Saturday evening, a little after 7 p.m. Eastern, because I don't know how to drive on time. Sorry to the host for being a little late here. So we're starting at a little short of half past the hour. But normally Saturday, 7 p.m., right here on twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio. It's Gaming Gumbo, your weekly wrap-up show. I'm your host, Mike Byrne. Got a few friends that are going to go through the week of gaming news with me. Give me their opinions. Now, remember, just a show note, no show next Saturday. Everybody gets the week off, and we'll be back the following weekend with Gaming Gumbo as normal. So if you're watching on YouTube or on ReadyCheckRadio.com, RAIDEO, or maybe listening on Spotify, consider following on Twitch. All the socials are right on the website, and you can come join us live, sit in chat, act like you don't care. So, no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Also on the line to go through all this with me, though, Mr. Jason Winter. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. And do you know why I'm doing pretty well?
I don't know why you're doing well. You're in like a chipper mood.
I am.
What's going on?
Because my sweetie got me a late Christmas, late birthday, early Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, is this a mystery
Fancy
bag, or
and
do you
everything.
already know what's in there?
I already know what's in here.
Okay.
It's chocolate.
All right. That always makes
Chocolate.
people happy.
Yep. And also chocolate.
Oh, look at this.
These little cheap cupcakes that I like. So
Those are good, man. Tasty Cake's the shit.
yeah, they are. They actually are.
I don't care how cheap they are. Tasty Cake is the shit.
Yeah,
That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff.
But yeah,
that was very
and I still
sweet.
like. Yeah, I got all sorts of chocolate now.
That was very sweet.
happy, yeah.
That was just kind of like like a mid-holiday surprise.
Well, like I said, it was because they didn't give me anything for Christmas, birthday was last week, and now this also morphing into like early Valentine's Day, I guess. Just
That's very
covered all the bases at once.
That's very awesome.
Very cool.
They did the right thing. Also on the line, although not with delicious cupcakes, as far as I know,
No,
Yod.
I have no delicious cupcakes. I've got a Yoda. Baby
I don't think
Yoda.
you can eat that.
No, can't eat Hellboy. I've got some whiskey and tea. Yeah, whiskey, Japanese whiskey. It's good shit.
I don't know. I think Jason wins with the cupcakes.
I think he does. I
Jason
think he does.
Like I
gotta say.
I have gummy bears.
Okay.
Not
I mean,
delicious.
gummy bears are tasty.
Gummy bears
Are
are
those like
tasty.
actual gummy, or are they like off-brand?
Oh
gummy?
no! These are like you buy the, they're real. They're the
Okay.
they're the
Oh,
real
all right.
deal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
No cheap gummy bears in
I'm
this house.
jealous I'm jealous on the gummy bears there.
Yeah, when we go
Do
gummy
like my
bears,
gummies.
we go balls deep.
Oh,
Alrighty.
I used to watch the cartoon when I was a kid.
Oh my god, I remember
Anyway.
that. Now I've
it
got
might
the
be
damn
streaming
theme
on
song
Disney
stuck in my
Channel.
head.
We
Thanks,
are the
Jason.
gummy bears.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right.
Is it bouncing
Enough
everywhere?
foolishness. I'll eat some gummy bears. Jason, enjoy a cupcake. Let's talk about some gaming news. Yeah, what Q is right. What the hell is going on around here tonight? This is why you come to the live show.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? First off, okay, Gearbox, makers of Borderlands, Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 and all those side Borderlands, the prequels. Oh, they did that whole
pre-sequel or whatever it was.
yeah. Oh, and that monstrosity of an Aliens game. That company.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
Wait,
that monstrosity
which
of a
Aliens
Duke
game?
Nukem game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joking on a gummy bear. Excuse
That's what
me.
happens when you make fun of Duke Nukem.
Excuse me. Anyway, they have been purchased by the Embracer Group. Now, this is the same Swedish company that also owns THQ Nordic and Koch Media, however you prefer to pronounce it. I think a lot of us might say Koch. I don't know.
Mike is choking, and then he talks about
Choking on a
cock.
gummy
Anyway,
bear.
Right?
Oh man, it's awful.
and earlier. Oh, boy.
So now the purchase does include, So this does include, plans to expand Gearbox's operations, add some new studios, create new brands, looking for more properties to buy. I mean, this is kind of a big purchase. Randy Pitchford getting a payday here with the initial price of $363 million, half in cash and half in Embracer shares, with a further $1 billion, Jason. Put the pinky up. $1 billion to be paid if Gearbox is able to hit agreed-upon financial and operational targets in the next 6 years. $360 million in shares and the rest in cash of that billion. So a huge payday. Now, of course, we get the usual comments, Jason, from like Randy Pitchford and everybody saying, this is a great thing. We still have complete autonomy. We're still, able to do our thing. So everybody's saying the right things. So what's your take on the sale, the future of Gearbox, and these stupid big numbers? Like the $363 million doesn't surprise me given how much we've seen Jagex allegedly sell for, and Daybreak actually sell for, well, maybe actually, I don't know. 2 years from now, we might find out that it didn't sell again. So that number I don't think surprises me all that much, but the further $1 billion in sweeteners for potential targets, that's a big number for one company.
I mean, first, I could probably live without hearing any more from Randy Pitchford,
right?
But I guess we kind of have to here.
He will still be in charge.
Unfortunately. Do you remember, though, like about a year and a half ago when Borderlands 3 was going to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store, and a lot of people were like, oh, that's such a mistake. You're just going to be on that one little shop. It's going to be so terrible. The game's going to flop now. Nobody's going to get it when it comes to Steam a year later. Terrible business decision. Yeah, well, apparently it wasn't that bad. If they're selling for this much, if the value of the company is still this high, I guess Borderlands 3 actually did okay. And yeah, I mean, what, $360 million, another billion? That's a big investment, but it's not surprising when I look at Embracer Group and I look at everything they have. Now, we make fun of Tencent owning everything, getting a piece of everything. Guess how many studios Embracer has? How many game studios does it have?
Random number. I'll go with 18.
Yeah, do you got a guess?
It's Price is Right, Yod. We play by high-low rules here, the old MMO bomb show.
Okay, well, the answer... Okay,
I'm
go
ahead.
20.
I'm going to go 20.
20?
I'm gonna go 20.
How about 58?
Oh,
20 will win.
So as of 21, Embracer Group has 8 operative groups consisting of 58 internal studios with a total of about 5,700 employees in 45 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're all like there's actually like 8 main companies that like Koch Media owns like 7 or 8 of them. THQ Nordic, which is now a part of this, or no, that's different.
Yeah, they already owned THQ Nordic.
Yeah, that has like 15. About looking here on Wikipedia, so yeah, they're big, and they can afford $360 million if they have that many fingers in that many pies.
Of course, we needed an update from, and this comes from Kotaku. What does this do with the relationship between 2K and Gearbox? 2K publishing, basically everything Gearbox does, particularly the Borderlands series, right? 2K had this to say: as the proud publisher of the Borderlands franchise, we are happy for our partners at Gearbox and this exciting new chapter for their organization. The merger does not change 2K's relationship with Gearbox, nor our role as the publisher for the Borderlands IP or any other projects we are currently working on with the studio. Kind of alludes to other projects they're working on with the studio there by making that statement.
Yeah, that does.
We look forward to continuing our long-term partnerships with this incredibly talented team and delivering many more exciting entertainment experience to gaming fans around the world. So it sounds like nothing changes on that side of things. What I got to wonder, though, is does this bring maybe a little more accountability to Randy Pitchford, Yod? Now having direct ownership, because Randy's not had a good couple of years, right? As far as performance goes, as far as PR goes, as far as allegations go. allegations of stealing money, of having some questionable porn on a flash drive, and all kinds of stuff. Does this bring a little more accountability, or does this bring, make his parachute platinum instead of gold if he if he needs to get out of town on Gearbox here?
I mean, he's definitely got a nice little nest egg going with that buyout. But the fact that they're dangling this extra amount over his head of, if you meet these goals, to me kind of warrants a little bit of maybe not accountability, but a person going, "Hey, I want that extra billion, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna toe the line, and I'm gonna make those goals happen." I mean,
yeah.
Rich
Chat
people
saying Randy is skeevy. He definitely is. And you know what bothered me? You know what bothered me the most?
I'm not saying he's not skeevy. I'm not saying he's not skeevy.
No, he's absolutely.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying that people with money want more money. People without money want money. I mean, it's all about money.
Right.
And if you're going to offer this extra bit of money, he's going to try to do what the commitments say to do to get that money.
But as Forrest Gump once says, skeevy is as skeevy does.
Yeah,
correct.
So here's the worst part of the whole Randy Pitchford thing. Like, Randy Pitchford is a magician too, right? Which I've seen Randy Pitchford do a number of magic effects, and every time I've seen them, I've just been like, oh, God, I don't know if I want to be a magician anymore. Like, I have studied for years and years and years, right, and performed hundreds of hours over the course of my life in magic, hundreds if not thousands of hours, and I've taught students and things like that. I've watched him do magic on stage. I forget, it was a reveal for something. I don't know if it was at E3 or whatever, and he did this card transpo effect, and it was just, like, so cringy to watch as a magician. And so I asked, like, non-magician friends of mine, watch this. What do you think of this? And it was even cringy for them. That's how you know it's really just not there. I was streaming on MMO Bomb. This was a couple of months ago. And somebody new came into the chat, and they were just chit-chatting with me and then the rest of chat about whatever we were playing that day. And they said, dude, you remind me of Randy Pitchford. Like, you look like Randy Pitchford. And I said, oh, come on, man. I don't even know you. You just showed up in my chat today, and you really want banned like that? I mean, at least give me that Randy Pitchford probably has a good 60 pounds on me. And he goes, yeah, whoever it was says, yeah, I'll addend. You look like Randy Pitchford hit the gym. All right.
Wow.
At least you gave me the gym part. I'll take the gym part. Yeah, I'm not a Randy Pitchford fan by any stretch of the imagination. So, I mean, good on Gearbox. I'm happy for the rest of the employees because, like it or not, Borderlands is a successful game. I was a little disappointed with Borderlands 3, but that's just my own personal thing. I don't think it iterated enough. I think they just rested on their laurels a bit with that one. But that's all personal flavor. I can't deny that technically it's a well-done game, and they deserve all that success. But, I question the leadership, and hopefully this puts a little more accountability in place, because to this day, Jason, Randy's really had to answer to nobody.
Yeah, but you wonder then, even if he does screw up, if he's in charge of a $100 million franchise, are they going to sweep it under the rug, or are there still going to actually be consequences?
It'll be, like I said, it'll be one of those, like, instead of a gold parachute, it'll be a platinum parachute. You got to leave, but here's like $600 million to leave.
Or he'll actually say, he'll have to put out a statement like, I'm sorry that I may have caused some people pain, and won't do it again.
I don't know. I think Randy has touched the line of a couple times where it's, you don't get to say I'm sorry for that stuff.
Yeah, but again, if he's a white guy who makes a lot of money for someone, they'll forgive him. Possibly.
I can't argue with that. Mm-hmm. What do we got next? Yod, your Mass Effect remaster. I'm just chowing down on these fucking gummy bears, man.
I'm gonna bust into my cupcakes here pretty soon if you don't.
Go for it. It's Saturday, man. Your Mass Effect remaster gets a release date. I'm sure this made you extremely happy.
It did.
May 14th. It's not all that far away.
Yes. No, it's not. And normally in May I'm prepping for a convention, and well, seeing as how we're still under, lockdown more or less, other than buying groceries, eh, I'm not going to any conventions anytime soon. So, yeah, that gives me quite a bit to do in May. And
Now,
the
are you ordering this legendary cache?
I am
150
not.
bones.
I am not, and I'll tell you why. While it is a
You don't
very
want the
awesome
N7
legendary
helmet?
cache,
1-to-1
I
scale helmet?
Oh, he
if
wants
I
it.
had some place to store it, I would want it.
You've
But
got a
it
head, don't you?
doesn't come with the game.
You got a head, don't you? You just always.
You all have
I don't
heads,
have anywhere
don't
else
you?
to put this. I just just wear it 24 hours a day.
Well,
Yeah, no.
that's
No, yeah.
what the Mandalorian's issue is. He just doesn't
Yeah,
have a place to
yeah,
store the helmet.
that's why they can't take the helmet off, because they have nowhere else to put it.
Nowhere
But
to
no,
put it.
it doesn't come with the freaking game. If it came with the game, sure, I'd shell out. Hell, I'd shell out 200 for it if it came with the game.
Wait. It sells for 150. The game
It-
sells for another 60.
Yeah.
So
sold-
if it's $210,
It,
it comes with
listen,
the game.
it's
You'll
sold
have
for
it.
150 for 7 days. Then it goes up.
What do you mean for 7 days?
For 7 days on the EA
Yeah, you
store.
got a little over
Oh,
3
okay.
days left right now.
So
Yeah,
get it now and then buy the game later. You pay $210 total dollars. There
Nope,
you go.
nope. It's the whole thing where it doesn't come with the freaking game.
But you just said you'd pay $200 for it. Not,
It even comes with a freaking box for the game.
Yeah, it comes with the steel
But
metal
not the
case,
game
the
itself.
steel case.
Yeah, but not the game itself.
What do you? So
No,
yeah, what do you
no.
get here? You get an exclusive art print that you can't get anywhere else. A next level wearable helmet replica that will make you feel like you really are Commander Shepard. The legendary edition metal game case, game not included.
Right.
The one
See?
morality spinner pin. The one N7 acceptance letter. 2 canvas art prints, including one you can only find here at the BioWare Gear Store, and a full-color custom box featuring the game's key art. If you want more information about each of those, head on over to BioWare, gear.bioware.com, and you can find it there.
ooh, and the helmet lights up.
Yeah, it is only the
does.
150 for like the next 3 days. Then it does go up. There's also a discount on shipping as long as you're free shipping and a $25 USD discount for international shipping if needed. To other countries.
You can switch it from blue to red depending on if you want to do Renegade or Paragon.
In other words, keep it on red all the time. Gotcha.
It says like 900 times on this page. Please note,
Yeah,
the Mass Effect Legendary Cache does not include the game,
right.
which is
You
kind
know
of dumb.
someone's gonna
Which
steal
is kind of
it.
dumb.
It's still, there's going to be a Reddit thread. So I bought this legendary cache. It didn't have the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be on Reddit.
Right. Oh
And
yeah.
honestly, it is
Yeah.
kind of dumb. Just throw
Yeah.
the game in there
Yeah,
and make it 190, make
Yeah.
it 200.
Right. And I mean, it does also depend on how much it's going to go up by once those 3 days are over.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
So,
then
you
they'll
know,
add the game.
you'll-
It'll be $400,
Right,
but it'll come with the game.
Yeah. Yeah, then they'll add the game.
It's like what they do
So
with
that's
the free-to-play
probably good.
games. This is a digital bundle of goods, Jason, worth $170. We're
Right.
selling it to you for $14.99.
And we only have 1,000 of them.
Yeah, I gotta put these
Oh,
fucking
wait, that's
things
only
away.
for Savory.
I gotta put
Yeah.
these damn things away.
I'm only having one. The cupcake comes in a package of 2. I'm only going to have one here during the show. I got to get some milk for the other one.
True.
I mean, you could have it with some tea.
What else, Jason? Oh, this one strikes your fancy and might strike mine actually. We'll see how it goes, but Total War has announced a new Warhammer 3.
Oh, yeah.
Total War Warhammer 3 has been announced. Now, this is pretty big, not only for Total War, which, Jason, you are a huge fan of that series, but also
I know.
you know a bit
I've
about
never heard of it.
but also for the Warhammer series itself.
Yeah. I admit, when they first were doing the first Warhammer 1, I was like, okay, that's cool. It certainly adapts well to the setting and whatever.
Yeah.
But Total War has always been a historical war game. That's what the series has always been. So this might do okay. It might be a little niche. Might get some sales or whatever. Cool thing. Something to play. Yeah, something for people to play before the next historical one comes out. No, it pretty much blew the historical stuff out of the water. But the sales for Warhammer, the Warhammer Total War games, are much better than anything. Maybe not as much as the Three Kingdoms with its Chinese, setting and getting a lot of sales in China as well. So, but I haven't seen that recently. But yeah, it pretty much tore apart the series, and it just sold so much more than the previous stuff. So it's no surprise that they're making a third one, but also it ticks me off a little bit because they only made 2 medievals, and I want there to be a third one of that too. So,
well, it's been like what, 4 years since we got Total War Warhammer 2, which I own apparently. I've never.
You were surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised to find that I do own it. I just never played it. So maybe I'll do that on a stream next week. But this one, if you want to know where you can get it, they've already released an FAQ. It's going to be PC only, right? And that, I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Yeah. Any Total War or Warhammer fans probably aren't surprised by that. But it will be both Steam and Epic Game Store. So no exclusivity to a particular store. Or you could just buy it directly off of Creative Assembly and get a key for either 2 of those stores. They will be available in a physical copy, but you're going to have to check back for that one. So, do we know, Jason, are they doing anything like, I seem to remember back when Total War Warhammer 2 came out, that there was a thing that you got Total War Warhammer in it as well. Are they going to do like a package here of any type?
They haven't announced anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did at some point. I mean, they've done the thing where they have like the combined map for 1 and 2 if you have both of those.
Right.
And eventually they say the question in the FAQ is, will there be a combined map for owners of all 3 games? Yes, though currently our focus is on Total War Warhammer 3. We will release a massive combined map. There'll be huge free DLC for owners of all 3 games, and we'll have more details later. You'll need to own all 3 parts of the trilogy through a single storefront in order to claim this free DLC. So eventually they're going to... I wouldn't be surprised if this is the final one. If this is then they kind of seem to be indicating it is the final part of the trilogy or whatever. Like there won't be a 4. If that's the case, then I expect they will have somewhere down the line a package deal of all 3. Maybe even around when this one's coming out, they're going to do some sort of discount or some package deal on the first 2
right.
at least. But for now, it's going to be its own thing.
Make sure if you do buy this that you buy it for anything from the store that you probably are going to do your DLCs from, because they're not going to be cross. You can't buy it on Steam and then buy the DLC for Epic. Now, there will be cross-play between the stores for the multiplayer stuff. There will be mods supported at launch, and you can pre-order this right now if you want to. But all they're telling you as far as benefits of pre-ordering are, there's going to be a bonus. We just haven't announced it yet. So if you pre-order now, when we announce it, you'll get that bonus. Or if you pre-order after we announce it, you'll get the same bonus. So, I mean, talk about... I'm not a huge fan of pre-ordering to begin with, but this is definitely one that I would wait until they announce things. Now, I'm not huge into the Total War franchise. I am a Warhammer dabbler as far as tabletop and the novels and other Warhammer games, so this does at least interest me there. I will check it out. I got to get into Warhammer 2 now, realizing that I have the damn thing. But Yod and Jason, we know you're a Total War junkie, so we'll get your take on it in just a second. But Yod, how do you feel with Total War Warhammer? Where do you sit with both of those franchises?
Total War, I remember hearing about it a while back. Warhammer, of course, Warhammer 40K, everybody knows that one. So this is the non-40K version. It's neat, and the trailer is beautiful.
Are you just not into RTSs? Is that what it is?
I played StarCraft back in the day and StarCraft 2. But I mean, I don't sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna play an RTS right now. At least not these days.
You're a dabbler.
I'm a dabbler. Yeah, I'm a dabbler.
What about you, Jason? I know you don't own Warhammer 2, Total War Warhammer 2, but do you prefer more historical RTSs versus fantasy-based, whether comparing it to a StarCraft or comparing it to a Total War Warhammer? Would you rather play, Total War Rome or whatever versus Warhammer, or does this kind of scratch 2 itches for you being into fantasy a little bit?
I never got into Warhammer, like any of the Warhammer, like miniatures or anything like that. So that was never a thing I was into. So that's probably why I actually skipped over 1 and 2, because I was still also I had just gotten like I picked up Attila, which I talked about last week. I remember I picked that up kind of late. I think just before the first Warhammer 1 came out, so I was like, well, I'll play through Attila now. Maybe I'll get 1 later when it's on sale. And by that time, something else had come out and gotten my attention, so I never got that. Then 2 was out, and I was like, well, if I'm going to get 2, I should get 1, but I don't want to get 1 right now. So it's so yeah, I've not gotten into either of them yet.
But only because you seem to have talked yourself out of them, not because you weren't interested in them.
At that time, yeah.
That does seem like
Well, if they do that package deal someday, like 2 or 3 years down the line, I'm probably going to pick it all up. But yeah, for now, it would be like if I bought 1 or 2 now, I'd feel like, well, but 3's going to come out soon. I don't want to get it because I feel like I'm playing an old game. Mike, gift me that. Gift me some of those.
There you go. Come on. I literally got told, if I got gifted that instead of Witcher 3, I probably would have played this. I was like, son of a bitch, I hate you.
Oh, Jesus.
We do not know the release date yet. We just know it's going to be later this year. So
yeah, late 2021 is what the Steam page says.
So later this year, but definitely something to
look
forward
really
to.
pretty.
It is. But you made the point before the show, being an RTS, that's all that is going to be a trailer. Maybe you'll see that type of performance in cutscenes telling the story of the campaign, but that's not the gameplay.
Right.
I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some Total Warhammer or Total War Warhammer 2 and kind of see if it, starts to catch with me a little bit before I go grabbing Warhammer 3. But definitely a big announcement. And actually, I kind of surprised it was only 4 years between them. I thought, because Total War has been pumping them.
Yeah, they've been about every year and a half or so, I think, is about when they come out with a new game, it seems like, a new big game.
Speaking of game companies trying to pump things, but not doing such a great job, it was announced that Amazon's Jeff Bezos will be stepping down, and Andy Jassy will be the incoming CEO. Now, what does that have to do with us here on Gaming Gumbo? Well, there's a little studio we've talked about, Amazon Game Studio, in fact, spending $500 million a year on an as-yet unsuccessful video game division. So it kind of does beg the question when a new CEO comes in, maybe priorities, focus changes a little bit. And will Amazon continue down the path of games at this point? Jason Andy says, no worries. No worries.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to keep going. We haven't consistently succeeded in AGS, but I believe we will if we hang in there. Yeah, being successful right away is obviously less stressful, but when it takes longer, it's often sweeter. I believe this team will get there if we stay focused on what matters most. Which could mean absolutely nothing. They could be done in like 6 months if New World flops, but you don't want to tell them that right away when you're the new guy coming in.
And I think honestly, that's such a good point, because that's where my mind kind of went on this was you don't say anything negative ahead of New World's launch.
No.
You let New World launch and then you make a decision. Maybe you have an idea of where that decision is going to be now, but obviously you don't say it before New World launches, or you kind of put the nail in the coffin of a game that's already, possibly based on the studio, not impinging the game itself or impugning the game itself at all, but is sitting in a position, where it's got one foot in a coffin and the other on a banana peel.
Right. And if you say, well, we're gonna cut back on this, that game's pretty much dead in the water and it's gonna receive no support. So why buy it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that Lord of the Rings one. Still waiting for that Lord of the Rings MMO.
Right.
I mean, as long as Amazon itself isn't doing anything on it, as long as all the Athlon people, then I'll have some confidence in it. But
I mean, I'm going to obviously try New World when it comes out. I already own it. I took part in the last, whatever it was, weekend thing that they had or whatever towards the end of 2020. Honestly, to me, I know a lot of people thought it was a lot of fun and was different. I thought it was incredibly boring. It was very quest hubby, which fine, I'm all right with that, but it felt literally like one quest to one quest to one quest to one quest, with a lot of slow walking in between. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely something we'll be streaming here when it comes out. I mean, I already paid for the damn thing, so try again for Amazon Game Studios. And speaking of the old college try, segues.
Hey.
EA getting back into the game. Oh, 2 in a row. Getting back into the game with college football. Now, it won't be called NCAA anymore. They are changing the name on that one. So we know at least that much. But that's pretty much all we know, Yad, about this. Gone is the NCAA football name. It'll now be called EA Sports College Football, so kind of generic title. Not so much for reasons you might think. It's not so much that the NCAA itself costs money, because EA is still going to the individual teams and spending that money anyway to acquire, uniforms and mascots and stadiums and all that stuff. So they're still spending the money to get the official NCAA licensing stuff. So it's not so much that NCAA costs money to Tark in chat there. That's not the case. They're still spending that money. The case came down to more wanting to not represent that they had the entire NCAA football market in the game, because some schools have decided back when NCAA football was a thing, and possibly current day, that they don't want to participate in it. And so putting NCAA on the title of the box and then not having NCAA teams could be construed as a little misleading. So, but I would imagine, Yad, your big universities, they're all going to, as many need some money, are going to be there, because EA is shelling out the money for anybody who wants to give up the rights to use the stuff.
And if you have your name put on something, more people will see it, people will play it. They might choose to go to that school for some reason. Who knows? The player thing, though, is kind of interesting, where they're not actually having the actual players for those teams like they were when it was called NCAA.
Well, that's an interesting thing, because technically they didn't. Technically, they've never had the college athletes on a given roster at any time.
But they looked so much like them.
And it got them into trouble.
Amazing coincidence.
Yeah, it got them into trouble because they weren't using their names, or anything like that. But the character models looked really, really close, enough to trigger some lawsuits and kind of stop that. So, yeah, you're still going to have, just the number, quarterback number 12 for Pitt. Okay, the quarterback is going to be number 12 for Pitt as the default roster.
Is it even that much? Like, if Pitt actually really has a quarterback who's number 12?
In the past, I think it was, yeah. I don't know what they're going to do for this, but in the past, yeah, it was.
Yeah, because they talk about this. They say that, assuming that there isn't some legislation that comes through, because this is a thing that Congress is determining whether college,
Right.
college
I thought
athletes should be paid.
I heard something about merchandising for college sports players back in the day.
Yeah, but what I thought it said here is that basically they wouldn't using, let's see. I thought it said something about how they wouldn't necessarily use their likenesses, or they couldn't use them.
No, they're not going to use their likenesses. No. They've already gotten smacked with that one before.
Right.
That's and it wasn't why they stopped doing NCAA, by the way. Although I'm sure it played a part in it, having to pay out a $40 million in a potential lawsuit there. But they said there were more and more NCAA teams that didn't want to participate and use licensing and stuff, and so they carved up a deal.
That's what it is. If those rules are still in effect, if EA Sports plans to include real details such as team names, mascots, and uniforms, but not anything that would resemble the real players on those rosters.
Right.
To me, if your quarterback for Pitt is number 12, then having a quarterback for Pitt who's number 12 would kind of in the game would kind of resemble that. Especially if the quarterback in the game is 6'2", 220, right-handed white guy or whatever. If that's the actual real life guy, then that's definitely no good.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have a problem using the number. I think the stats and the look of the character model is where they ended up in trouble last time, and maybe they'll try to avoid it entirely this time by just But I think I don't know. I don't think there's a problem. I don't think there's a problem in using here's the roster numbers of everybody. Okay, import the list of roster numbers. I don't think there's really a problem with that.
In football, they're all in big helmets and gear and stuff like that, so you're not really you can fudge the character model or the face and stuff like that.
The
to not
face is
quite
the
look
big
like
deal.
that.
It's like the physical attributes that are,
Yeah.
like I said, if you 6'2", 220, you can't, if the actual guy in the quarterback is 5'10", 180, then sure, that's different. But
Right, yeah. So you just fudge the numbers a little bit, and it'll be fine for football. It's like, I mean, when it trickles down to things like basketball and things like that, where you actually see their face, stuff like that, I think they're going to run into an
Yeah,
issue.
but enough of them will have recognizable faces. Big name quarterbacks especially, are going to be guys you'd recognize. So
Now, and by the way, I mean, this all could change too with the whole discussions around college athletes potentially getting paid for endorsement deals or likeness usage and things like that. So there could be a time when we do see these athletes represented down to their physical appearance in the EA college game, but it doesn't seem to be the case initially. And that's pretty much all we know. We don't even know when this is coming.
Yeah, not this year.
Yeah, not this year.
Not this year.
2022 at the earliest. I actually preferred the NCAA football to the Madden series back in the day. So I'm excited to try this again, although with the iterations of Madden between now and then, not exactly thrilled with the way that series is going. So I don't know if I hold a lot of hope for this one, but I did enjoy the NCAA series more than I enjoyed Madden back in the day. On to some Resident Evil here, because we're going to help the Guardian out. We're gonna help the Guardian out. So
you're getting a little. You're too mean to the writer of this article. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, come on now.
I'm being facetious.
He answers his
not
question. Let's put it that way.
mean.
Yeah.
I'm being facetious, not mean. And if you wanted to write it the way they did, then don't make that your headline.
Well, that's how you get the click.
Yeah, it's a clickbait headline. So The Guardian writes an article, Why is Video Game Twitter Obsessed with Resident Evil's Giant Woman, written by Keith Stewart. And I'm, like Jason said, I'm giving Keith Stewart more facetious chagrin than actual jabbing here, because Keith does go and answer the question a little bit here. But this is in response to a tweet from the Resident Evil account, letting us know exactly how tall some people might be. Hi, everyone. I'm Tomonori Takano, art director of the Resident Evil Village. I wanted to use this opportunity to publicly reflect on the outpouring of positivity we've received from the fans on our latest announcement. As a representative of the development team, thank you to all the fans who continue to follow us. Most recently, Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters have received a fair amount of attention, far more than we anticipated. It's great that they're able to take the spotlight as icons of Resident Evil Village. Lady Dimitrescu especially has received much fanfare, both domestically and overseas, which has made all of us in the development team extremely happy. I hear her height is something of interest. If you include her hat and high heels, she's 2.9 meters. That's 9.5 feet tall.
I don't think my I don't know what it is.
9.5 feet.
Let's see. I got I got 25 feet on my tape measure, so I actually could measure her out.
You could.
All right,
you could.
okay.
You would only have a moment or two before you were dead.
I need a step ladder too, probably.
9.5 feet. So that's 9 feet 6 inches. 9 feet 6 inches.
Yeah.
That's one tall lady. That is one tall lady.
Yeah, from a graphic I saw online, she's like head and shoulders taller than the Xbox refrigerator.
Yes, I saw that graphic too.
Yeah. So
here's the question. Here's the trivia question for you guys. Do you know how tall the tallest human being was?
I do not.
I do not.
Oh, no, not even a guess.
I'll go with 10-2.
Oh my god, no, not quite.
I'm gonna go 8-1.
8'11".
Oh,
Yod wins again. Yod wins again.
Yod's winning the high-low.
She's not. Well,
Although
technically,
he
since
did not
she's
wear
not a
high
human,
heels,
so I guess
she's not a human.
Yeah, I guess the 8
Well,
foot
but
plus.
she was at one point, right?
I don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we got to play the game to find out.
Yeah, and if
they
you want to
even tell
know
us.
why the internet is obsessed with her, I've got 2 guesses. I've got 2 big guesses, and they're right around my eye level at 6'1". They're not hard to see, at my height. Now, I love this character so far, by the way, and her daughters, but I'm huge into vampires and stuff, so this, like, really, I'm very excited by Resident Evil Village and where it might be going.
You're huge into vampires, or you're into huge vampires?
I apparently am into huge vampires. I think the characters are great. I want to see them, like, fleshed out, because all I've seen them so far is in the demo, where they're just, like, they're used as a jump scare, basically, in the demo.
You want to see the flesh.
Yes. Fleshed out.
Do you guys think the Stadia is out on its way
out? Nice shift.
Yeah, Stadia is.
You think it's on its way out?
It's dead. It's dead.
I'm putting it next to my Ouya.
Mm-hmm. Google deciding that we're no longer going to make our own games, which was a pretty big selling feature for a lot of people of the Stadia, that not only could you do the cloud gaming, but there would be games proprietary to that platform, exclusives coming from the Google team. Yeah, that's not going to be the case anymore. So
was it really, though? Was it really a selling point?
It was absolutely a selling point for people that were already interested in the potential of cloud gaming, with multiple ways to go on this one, where you go Stadia, whether you go the GeForce stuff, whether you go with Amazon's Luna, to have one that was going to make its own proprietary games. That was an actual tiebreaker for a lot of people. Yeah. Absolutely.
But Google hasn't produced any games, has it?
No, but the Stadia's only been out for like a year right now. Yeah, it's only been out for like a year.
So it didn't even have any launch titles ready. So, I mean, maybe them going, no, we're not going to do any games is a good thing. I mean, they could make a crappy game, and then it'll be even worse for it.
I don't think so. I think that was definitely a selling feature to me, Jason. Like, not for me personally buying it, but for people that were interested in cloud gaming. There are people that love this. Like, Q is one of them. Q, her computer could not handle Cyberpunk. She has been crazy about Cyberpunk for a while now, and got to play it on day one on the Stadia. Loved it. It played well. I've broken out the Stadia stuff that Q's friend hooked me up with, the Premier Edition, and spent a few hours just the other day playing it on the couch in the living room, Chromecasting it to the TV. It works phenomenally well. I was actually very, very impressed with it. But for some people, and maybe it's the Amazon trap, right? When you hear Google is going to start making its own games, you don't initially think there's going to be far-reaching failure to the point of Amazon when you talk about a company like Google. When Amazon's company started, Jason, we would never have forecasted that they would have had the string of absolute catastrophic failure that they have. Was the option out there for them to make a bad game? Sure, absolutely. Every company's made at least one bad game. But when you hear Google's going to get into gaming, you just think, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, they're going to have some good games at some point, maybe some I don't like. Now to just pull out of this, it makes it just another cloud streaming service, and frankly, there are other ones that do it better. That do it better.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Yad go. He's
go ahead,
a bit here. Go for it.
No, I mean, it's just, to me, it just seems like it is a cloud streaming thing, and like you said, Q was playing Cyberpunk, but that's because her computer can't handle it. But it's not a game that Google featured or a game that they made. So they're playing games that whatever system they're running on can't handle initially, which is great. Now, personally, I didn't know that there were other systems that did that better. So that's new information for me. So
yeah, no, but here's the thing though. Like, you could buy Cyberpunk on multiple platforms, right? And I know I see what your point is. Like, you're saying, okay, well, you have to want those Google games for Google to beat out NVIDIA's GeForce or Amazon Luna, and you don't know what those games are, so they never made any of them. They never published them. So, but when you're looking at buying one of those three, because let's say you're in Q's position, that's a perfect position, right?
Right.
I want some higher end games. I know what I want to play. My rig doesn't do it, and I'm not going to upgrade my rig right now. Okay, I can buy Cyberpunk on the Stadia. platform. I can buy it on Amazon GeForce. I can buy it on Amazon Luna. Now, I don't know if it's on Luna yet or not. That's still in like testing phases, if I remember right. But whatever. Which one should I get it on? Well, you know what? The other two don't really have anything unique about them. So I'll buy it on the Stadia, and hopefully I'll like some of Google's games when they come out. And that I'll have that little perk. Now you don't have that. And one of the statements that they make here actually really...
Mute yourself?
No, it really...
Okay.
That was a dramatic pause. That was a dramatic pause.
I think the Verge article gets this right off the bat, because the statement that Phil Harrison came out with, that they were shutting down the company's game studio, is right. In there, they bring up 5 times in 4 paragraphs, and in the very last paragraph, they say that Stadia is now a platform for Google's partners.
Okay.
Not the gamers.
Interesting.
The partners. And The Verge points out, again, credit where due, this is Sean Hollister from The Verge. This suggests Google has realized an important truth. Stadia, like so many of Google's other businesses, is optimally one where you aren't the customer. The paying customers, if Google can get them, are game publishers themselves, and possibly ISPs that would like to deliver a cable-like bundle of games to go along with their cable-like bundle of shows. So instead of Google making games for their platform, which essentially makes us as gamers the target customer, making games out of the equation here now makes the companies that might want to utilize the Stadia service to deliver items to us, Google's customer, instead of us. So in short, I think, yeah, it's kind of the death knell for Stadia. I don't know if it'll be gone anytime soon, but it certainly, I don't think, is going to be very relevant anytime soon to gamers in particular, Jason.
Maybe not the death now, but it is kind of half buried in the ground. Yeah. Not a whole lot of people are going to want to go over and pick it up.
Lots of things with one foot in a coffin, 1 foot on a banana peel. All right, so Jason, you have made me guess and Yod guess a couple of times. I specifically put this in the show, real big capital letters. Hosts, do not read the link below. I would like you to guess the answer to this question live on the show. The question asked to Elon Musk of Tesla, who does talk on his Twitter about gaming quite a bit. He was asked on Twitter that since he was on Team PC, has he ever played a console game? He said there was only one console game that Elon Musk has played. So get your guesses in. Yod, you go first.
Are we guessing the game or the console?
The game.
The game.
I'll give you a hint on that front. If you got the game, you would automatically know the console.
I'm going to say Mario.
Jason?
Let's say Breath of the Wild.
So you both went Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was Halo.
Halo?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Halo. It was Halo. I don't have any more to talk about on that. I just thought it was interesting, and I wanted to bring it to the show. Next.
Next time you do that, though, don't put the link there because it was so tempting to click
it
on.
Was,
that.
yeah.
I was going to see which.
But I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Q says that she would have gotten that. I would have. I was waiting for one of you to go, I don't know. He seems like a shooter guy. I'll go with Halo. And I was going to be like, you son of a bitch. You click the link.
I honestly, I knew he didn't seem like a Breath of the Wild kind of guy, but I couldn't think of what it was. I couldn't think of anything else off the top of my head.
When I was reading the show notes, I thought it was which console he had
No,
played.
but you would know. I mean,
So,
it would be an Xbox.
Yeah. Definitely, but
I mean, Halo was the first thing that popped into your head, Q. That's impressive. It wouldn't have been had I not seen the answer ahead of time. A couple of last.
Q also follows him on Twitter.
Yeah, she does. So we talked before on the show about Silent Hill and a potential Silent Hills being reactivated. We still have no official word on that one yet, even though leakers have said we were supposed to hear at the Game Awards. We did not. But let's add a little more fuel to this fire. So Akira Yamaoka, who is known as for his work as the composer on video game series like Silent Hill and Contra, was recently in an interview on the YouTube channel Al Hub. During the interview, Yamaoka teased a new project that will probably be announced around summer 2021. This was in response to the question, when are we going to see the next Akira Yamaoka project? And while it didn't contain many details, here's what he did say. He implied that the interviewer would be happy to learn about the upcoming title. He said, I think it's the one you're hoping to hear about. Then the interviewer uploaded the YouTube video with the English title, New Silent Hill Game, ?
Nice clickbait.
A huge clickbait, right? Huge clickbait. So we will see. I still believe that, yes, that we are going to see Silent Hills back with Kojima, Hideo Kojima, at the helm there, with Sony kind of making Konami and Kojima play nice. I still think we're going to get it. I hope we're going to get it. Are you two as optimistic on this one as I am?
Yeah, pretty much. This really helps to seal it. If he's talking about what you really want to hear about, it's like, what else would he be working on that we really want to hear about?
Right. That's that line kind of does it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, finally, before Game of the Week, if you're playing CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077, we announced some good news that mods were available last week. Bad news almost immediately followed that within 24 to 48 hours, where CD Projekt Red had to come out and say, hey, guys, probably don't want to use mods from people you don't know, because as it turns out, there's a serious security risk on them for PC gamers. They tweeted out, we've been made aware of a vulnerability in external DLL files the game uses, which can be used to execute codes on PCs. Work was underway to create an issue, but don't use them from untrusted sources. If you install a malicious mod, a hacker could potentially take control of your PC. In other words, it's simply not worth taking the risk until CD Projekt Red patches out the vulnerability. Now, it should be noted that they have since patched out the vulnerability. They did take to Twitter to let people know that those files and save files were now fixed in a hotfix, but good grief. Talk about, and I always thought that Marvel's Avengers on the Relic Grind show, Thursdays at 7 p.m., was the gift that kept on giving. But Cyberpunk really just keeps funneling content to this show, Yod.
Just when you thought, you couldn't kick a game any further. I mean, first they tell you, here's some modding tools. Go fix the game yourself.
Right.
And then, oh, wait, no. no, don't do that. But I mean, isn't it general knowledge, though, that if you're going to mod something on your computer and you pull a file from someone you don't trust, it could be malicious? I mean, that's just,
on the modding
general
front,
knowledge to me.
On the modding front, Jason, while they don't mind you fixing the game, there is one thing Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red would like you to stop doing, isn't there?
Please don't have sex with Keanu Reeves.
Please stop modding it so that people can have sex with Mr. Reeves. He doesn't like this.
That's not breathtaking.
Oh, God. Let's slide over and do the game. Killing us in this category. I mean, you just absolutely are a nine. I don't think I've won one. Yod's won like 2, and you have like 4.
Well,
we're just getting absolutely annihilated. Yod, you get to go first this time. This is the segment where we recommend a game for you. Could be one we've just played recently, one we've played a long time ago. Hey, hell, one even we haven't played, but we think people might like. So we're going to make a recommendation to you. And you let us know in the comments whether it's on YouTube or on ReadyCheckRadio.com. That's RAIDEO.com. Who made the best recommendation? And for God's sakes, go to YouTube. I'm making the appeal right now. Go to YouTube. Go to Ready Check Radio. and just give me a pity win, for God's sakes. This is episode 10.
No mercy.
This is
No
episode
mercy.
10, and I haven't won once.
You got to earn it. You got to stop sucking.
Yod, you can go first, my friend.
All right. Well, with Mass Effect on the brain, but the Legendary Collection not out yet, so I don't want to play the originals, but there is Mass Effect Andromeda. So I'm going to go with that this week.
Jason?
That was my choice like a month ago.
Yeah, you won on it, so Yod's tried to scoop in.
Oh,
with...
that should be your strategy,
That should
Mike.
be, I'll just pick whatever you
Maybe
picked the
that
previous
your
week.
strategy. But I am going to pick a game that I have not played,
Ooh.
but I've been watching people stream it a lot lately. My Summer Car, which if you're not familiar, it's a smaller indie game where you have to basically, you're in Finland in 1995. You're a teenager whose parents have left you the house for the summer. You have to rebuild a car basically from the ground up. So it's really detailed.
Wow.
Got all sorts of little parts to it. You have to go into town. You can do jobs to get money and so forth. You can socialize with people, do sorts of things. So really, really interesting looking. Very, very difficult from what I understand, because having to know like what parts go where and with the right size of wrench to use and everything can be pretty difficult. And of course, eventually you drive the car and it'll probably crash into a train or something and die. But at that point, you've still accomplished something.
I'm going to go with Final Fantasy, the trading card game, and if you're looking to play it digitally, you could do so for free. Head on over to Octagon, that's OCTGN. Download that for free. Grab yourself the image packs for Final Fantasy trading card game. Build yourself a deck and start playing. Also, as a sidebar, if you play other TCGs, Octagon provides a platform free of charge for other games as well, but specifically, I'm not recommending Octagon as the game of the week. I'm recommending that you check out Final Fantasy, the TCG, digitally, and then maybe grow into it on the physical front. So there's your choices. Lock them in the comments below. Let us know who had the best recommendation. Now, again, we will not have a Gaming Gumbo next Saturday. I'll be out of town for my birthday. We will have next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Snowbound. We'll do the Relic Grind on Wednesday at 7 p.m. with special guest Ginger Prime going through the showcase the announcement showcase and the live letter that we just had last night into today for Final Fantasy XIV. Those two shows will air with Relic Grind being a day early, but no Gaming Gumbo next week. We'll see you the following week. Until then, Yod, where can everybody find you, my friend?
Yod Artworks on Twitter, Yod Artworks on Facebook, YodArtworks.com, wherever it says Yod Artworks.
Jason?
I'm on Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming at twitch.tv/Jason Winter. You can see my team have sex with robots.
I didn't call Q an Elon fangirl. I said she follows him on Twitter.
I said she follows him on Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't call her a fangirl. I don't think she's an Elon fangirl. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio on Twitter. Get tweets about all the streamers and everything. Hold on. We got to go back. I almost forgot to introduce the streamer at the end of this show. Chat, hang tight. We're going to have Torchwick on right after the show here. Sorry about that, Torchwick. What are you playing today?
I'm playing some Fallout, not that you'd care.
I mean, when you deserve it, you deserve it on that one. How's it going? You're now 2 weeks into Fallout. Last week you were saying it was a bit of a slower experience than you were anticipating. Have you normalized with it now?
Well, I feel like part of it was me just not fully understanding what I was supposed to be doing. Because we kind of lucked into a solution and it all picked up from there. It got a lot quicker. So
very nice.
A lot more interesting to watch, hopefully.
Very nice. Got a lot of people waiting for you. So we'll get right over to that chat. Hang tight for about 30 seconds after the show there. Channel will go dark and come back on. Now you can follow me right there on Twitter, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio so you get tweets at all the latest shows and streamers coming live. So you can come and hang out with us. Until next time, gang, stay safe. See you on the servers.